The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Power Trading Hour with your host, David White. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044. Now, David White.
And welcome to another excellent edition of the Power Trading Hour, where we love to come to you at this time.
The following takes place between 2 p.m. and 3 p.m.
So we've got the reaction, as we have been talking about since probably, last Friday. You needed to watch where these confluence levels came in because they would be resistance, at least the first time up. Some of the stronger stocks could make it through it. The weaker stocks could not. And, of course, eventually you're going to get some kind of a retrace. We're back down into the levels of support on some stocks, others not so much. But here's where you separate the wheat from the chaff for stocks going forward that will participate in what will probably be a 21-gun salute by Christmas. You throw this much cash around into a market, and when we do reopen, it's going to be like, I like that Bonnie Tyler song, like being in a powder keg and giving off sparks, right? All it needs is one little spark and you're going to go. So is the end of the world here? Well, I try not to pay too much attention to the quote experts. They are generally and historically very wrong. It's not nothing, but it's not also an 11. It's not as I saw in the den here just a minute ago, the new Black Death. I think 50 or 75% of people got the plague died. This is still in the United States, still around 1%. A lot of people, of course, get it, don't even know they've got it. But if you're immune by smoking cigarettes or marijuana or I don't know, what else do other people smoke? Well, anyway, if you've already kind of compromised your lungs one way or the other, it can take root fairly quickly. And that's why it's hit a lot of foreign countries with heavy smokers a lot harder than it has the U.S. But again, same thing. Elderly, probably about 10 times more likely to smoke. I wonder how it affects all the people that were vaping. I mean, that was killing people before there was anything like a coronavirus at all. I don't know. Just probably a lot easier ways and better ways to get your jollies than smoking. But I never smoked, never understood it. It just kind of reminded me of you get those National Geographic magazines as a kid. My grandmother always had them. And you'd say, why did people sit there and tattoo themselves and put big holes in their ears? And, of course, a scant 50 years later, you got people putting holes in their ears. And it's here in the United States, supposedly an educated country, but apparently not that educated. But what do you say? Okay, so the first question today is, what does the volume look like? If we had 10 billion shares by now, I would say that it's time to say that the virus is going to kill us all. No need to even bother. Just lay down and die. But I say nay. Nay, I do say. 7.3 billion shares, which is actually not that bad. Looking at a lot of stocks, like I said, there are enough out here that are coming back down with lighter volume. Again, beating out a bottom is what the market does, and Generally, what I like to do is get a position on that I think is probably the best position that I could buy at the lows. Then on any retraces, okay, what's the second best position that I could buy? And then it'll bounce a little bit. And then on the third pullback, which is probably still higher, try to start looking at those at the third stock that I can get, and slowly put together some fairly nice positions. I've got one each in the Tech Insider and the Path of Least Resistance, and I'll be looking at adding more after I get the data from tonight. And of course, I suspect we're going to see, this is the first. We are going to probably see some of that fund money come in. And the question is it tomorrow or maybe Friday? But we shall see. But I think it's probably after Friday and we get whatever numbers are done for the week. We'll probably, I would see probably at least some money coming in on Friday. And of course, it's going to be a hard trade. It's not going to be easy. There's a lot of people horribly invested in pain and suffering and misery, and telling everybody that's all we have to look forward to. We're all going to die. It's the end of the world. And you know what? Since recorded history, they've been talking about it, and it's never happened. So sometimes it's worse than others. This time, my guess is we've mobilized and going to find World War III, but against a virus. In the meantime, let's do a little history, and then we will move on.
Then it's all just a little bit of history repeating.
It is April Fools on this day in 1582. France switched from the Julian calendar to the Gregorian calendar. No word about the French fries, Julian fries, as called for by the Council of Trent. I've never met Trent, but that was in 1563. People who were slow to get the news or failed to recognize the start of the new year had moved to January 1st and continued to celebrate it during the last week of March through April became the butt of jokes and hoaxes. These pranks, including having paper fish placed on their backs to be referred to as April fish, to symbolize the young, easily hooked fish and gullible persons. In the 1800s, it became quite fashionable in England to put kick-me signs and fake cattails on those that were also fairly easy to get over on, as they said. And, of course, it's gone on to be more of the giant hoax in the United States after all these years. Not seeing a lot of people cut tails off of cats and pin them to people. But that was quite the rage, I guess, with no television or radio. You had to do something. But a paper fish. How about a real fish? On this day in 1582. We'll be back.
If you're not currently using the TAS Profile Scanner when looking at setting up your trading opportunities, then your arsenal is short a mighty weapon. The TAS Profile Scanner is a standalone piece of software that instantly filters over 2,500 global financial markets such as stocks, ETFs, commodity futures, and Forex. Headed by Steve Dahl, TAS understands that in today's technological world, the use of top-flight software applications and technical analysis expertise is essential to successful trading in today's market. You also gain access to the webinar that Steve Dahl and Tom O'Brien just hosted, The Best Way to Use the TAS Profile Scanner to Profit. This webinar archive is available for all subscribers immediately upon signing up. All new subscriptions also come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to risk. Start your subscription by visiting the front page of TFNN.com today, and you'll find the TAS Profile Scanner under the Services tab. Sign up today. Are you in the market for buying or selling real estate in the Bay Area, including the surrounding St. Petersburg, Tampa, and Clearwater markets? Tiger Real Estate LLC is a firm that has extensive experience in the Tampa Bay area. Whether you're looking to sell your current property for maximum value, or you're in the market for a second home or investment property, Tiger Realty has the experience across all areas of real estate in the Tampa Bay area to help buyers and sellers make the most informed decisions across all price levels. From the price you should be paying per square foot in certain up-and-coming areas to the type of cash flow investment properties are capable of creating, Tiger Real Estate can help you make the best decision when it comes to all areas of the market. Before you make one of the biggest decisions of your financial future, call Tiger Real Estate LLC today at 727-329-8322 or email us at tiger@tfnn.com. That's 727-329-8322. Call us today. TFNN is launching an open house for our Tiger's Den. For a limited time, you can get a 30-day free trial to the Tiger's Den. Just enter promo code OPEN at checkout and pay nothing for 30 days while you try out your Tiger's Den membership as part of our open house. With market volatility at an all-time high and people all over the world working from home if possible, TFNN is hosting an open house in our Tiger's Den. The Tiger's Den is an interactive chat room that runs all day where other tigers and tigresses discuss trading ideas with the hosts and members, along with charts and current market news, as well as live access to the charts the hosts use during their programs. Join us for the Tiger's Den Open House. Begin your Den membership today by just entering OPEN at checkout and pay nothing while you try things out for 30 days. For all the details and to start your Den membership today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. Don't miss out on the TFNN Tiger's Den Open House taking place now. Sign up today.
Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-873-7618.
And we're going to look at the big movers and shakers today. You can always give me a call and got a question here, but I kind of answer it in the first segment. Is it time to back up the truck on equities? I don't think at these kind of bottoms you want to back up the truck to anything. I think you did if you bought the bottom, you wanted to buy it, buy the dip and sell the rip. I had one stock that moved far too fast, and so I sold it and took the cash in that one. And now we are waiting and looking at a couple of stocks. One that I sold and another one that I missed that are coming back into that target range for my subscribers. So, but again, I don't think it's one of these things where you have 1 minute and the lows are in. As I said before, I suspect we're going to see waves of different stocks coming off the bottom as we move forward. Whether I'm a week earlier, a day earlier, an hour early, I think the idea is to slowly build a fairly good position as we go up into the end of the year. Could we get a second wave of virus issues next fall, maybe December or something? I think we can, but man, everybody in the world's got some way of licking this, unlike the statues in Iran, where everybody has to apparently lick the same statue for some unknown reason. You think the statue tastes good? Why would they lick a statue? Anyway, I guess that comes under the heading of we just all want to die, but I don't know. Anyway, as I said, volume fairly light in comparison to our 15, 18 billion share days. It's not that light that says it's all over. But like I said, I suspect that maybe Friday morning, maybe even between now and Friday morning, I don't have anything that says it's over. But I think we could start seeing that the early short squeeze kind of over. And now we're going to see the stocks that are able to hold up the best over the next few days. Give us a key of what's going to run. I'm going to say if we're going to see the peak in cases in 2 weeks, we probably see the bottom in most things in 1 week. I think people will probably try to be a little early than a little late on that, but just a guess at the moment. Let's look at the rest. Yeah, it can't be it. American Airlines, as we said, a lot of these stocks trying to beat out a bottom. You got 42 million shares back into 78 million shares on the 18th today. But again, most of these things are moving 10% per day. So fast trade, but at the same time, problematic. What else do we have? That was kind of interesting. To Aflac. Well, no duck here today. Actually down on very light volume into this huge candle up. On the 25th, Aflac was up on 14.4 million shares, down today on 2.3. That actually looks kind of good right now. I'm not so sure about being in the insurance company business and what their exposure is, but chart says it looks pretty good. IAG, another one, it's down today. Volume's not that bad. On the 25th, you were up on 14.4 million shares. You're down on about 6.5. I would say this one doesn't look quite as good as Aflac. And a brief time out there, brought to you by Spot, the timeout dog. But okay, Apartment Investment and Management Company, another big mover after a double top, and you had some nice volume in there. Again, most of these people are going to be bailed out. But at the moment, it doesn't look as bad as it could be for some of those sectors. Align Technology, this is the invisible braces company. It's up off the bottom days, the 24th, 1.5 million shares. The next day up 2.1 million shares, about 1 million shares right now. That may or may not look interesting by the end of the day. Anthem Electronics, actually not too bad, down on light volume today, 1.45 million shares so far compared to the 3.5 million shares up on the 25th. So going back into that candle with lighter volume doesn't mean we're going to bounce today, but you finish that candle with light volume, you know what? You're starting to see some strength in a stock, and the only time you know the strength's there is when it moves counter to the direction you think it's going. And you get lighter volume. Avalon Bay Communities, another one of the big REIT companies, was up on the 25th with 2 million shares, down today with 1.4. This one, again, looks weaker. I would say that you're looking at a retest of the March 23rd low. Real estate is not the business I want to be in, buying the lows for probably at least 3 months. But probably even longer. The Boeing company, Boeing, or I'm not going, up on the 25th with 77.5 million shares, down today with 31 million shares. So you had a huge run on the way back up. Now you're getting probably back into some level of support. Ideally, I suspect a long-term buy would either be the $110 level or the $89 level if that does not hold. Booking.com, well, their business is just done. Till people start traveling again, a good chance it's going to retest the $1,107 level for March 23rd. But you know what? Volume is not that big. You're about 320,000 shares compared to about twice that back on the 27th. On the 25th, you had about 1 million shares. So could it just come back on light volume? 1150-ish on light volume might find support there. BLK, and we have plenty of time if you want to give me a call, 877-927-6648. So BlackRock up on the 26th with 1.6 million shares. On the 25th was 2 million shares. Today, 682,000 shares. So not too bad. Anyway, we're going to come back in just a minute, and I'll give you a little conundrum while we're waiting. There is a flag that flies 24 hours a day, is never taken down and never put back up, and no one has saluted. Tell me about that flag. American flag, by the way.
If you're a trader in the market looking to find the path that leads to maximizing profits while decreasing risk, then now is a great time to try out Dave White's daily trading service, The Path of Least Resistance. Through the use of options and equity trades, Dave advises his subscribers on a daily basis of the current market conditions and what possible trade setups are on the horizon. The Path of Least Resistance is published every trading morning, often with updates intraday when initiating trades or closing out positions. Dave White has advised his clients of some outstanding winning options and equity trades in recent months, and now is a great time to try it out for yourself. New subscribers to the Path of Least Resistance receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. See for yourself the types of options and equity trades that are available by signing up for the Path of Least Resistance today by visiting the front page of TFNN.com and selecting the newsletter tab. Sign up today.
Hi folks, Tom O'Brien here. If you'd like to get my daily newsletter, Market Insights, then now is a great time to sign up for a 30-day free trial. Every morning by 9:30, I send out my morning letter to subscribers with market commentary on a variety of markets, currencies, and commodities to keep investors up to date on the day's trading action. Included in Market Insights are specific buy and sell recommendations for stocks, ETFs, and even options, with stops and price targets included for every trade in my newsletter. If you'd like to try my newsletter risk-free for 30 days, then head over to the front page of TFNN and you'll find Market Insights under Trading Newsletters. I use my years of trading experience to bisect and dissect the market every morning and give my subscribers the most important information they need to know for the day ahead. I even issue afternoon updates for my subscribers whenever warranted with important market action. I'm always scouring the market for the next great trading opportunity. Sign up for your 30-day free trial to my daily newsletter, Market Insights, today by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Wow! Go get 'em, folks.
TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartley's, ABC's, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
And if you were looking for my little conundrum before the break, there is a flag that has been only put up once. It's never been taken down. No one's ever saluted it, and everybody has seen it. I'd say literally everybody has seen it. Tell me about that flag. No more guesses? It's the flag they planted on the moon. Everybody's seen it. It's been up, never been down. No one's ever saluted it. Anyway, I always thought that was interesting. Summit Hotel and Properties coming in from Keith, asking if people will ever go back into the den of iniquity known as a hotel after this issue. And the answer is yes. The question is, do these people have enough cash to make it through? And generally, the play is on things like this, that you want to buy the bonds because the shareholders get wiped out first. And that's it. Actually, there's several flags planted on the moon. All of them are still there. None of them have been saluted, and they still fly 24 hours a day. Okay. Anyway, like I said here, there isn't a whole lot in hotels to jump up and down about. Some of the relief is going to change it. My guess is that you want to think about how you would go on vacation first. And my guess is that that the local theme parks may be the first to recover. So I'm thinking something like Six Flags over America, some of those other ones. If we get the all clear and everybody's not worried about it anymore, let's say middle of the summer, are you going to go to Disneyland? I don't know if they're going to get on a airplane, but will they drive for a weekend down or a couple of days just to get out of the house? I think they could, but that would be different. I think you want to think about that. But initially, local theme parks in past events, like even the energy crisis of the early 70s, that's really what made the Six Flags Over America things really fly back then. And that was, could you get there in a day or two? Could you drive there for a day and come back the same night? That kind of stuff. So you might be there. John from Orlando, how you doing?
Hello, how are you this afternoon?
Hey, well, I don't know what your weather's up there, but it couldn't be any more perfect here. Got the doors and windows open. It's clear, sunny, and probably 73 degrees. But
yes,
I do digress.
Beautiful weather.
Yep.
I hope this ends well for everybody, and praying for everyone out there. White lightning.
Yep.
Since this has all happened, gone down, I've been trading the S-Dow back and forth and made some money on it. I wanted to know from you, how is the Dow looking? Is it going to go to that 23,700 level that you were talking about?
23, huh?
23,000, 700. You were saying that yesterday.
I don't think I was saying that yesterday.
Oh, no?
No, maybe somebody else.
What is your analysis of the Dow?
My belief is that the Dow is 30 stocks, of which they're heavily skewed in energy and in manufacturing. There is Microsoft in it, but the problem is it's not a very good bellwether. If you were going to ask a number of people who they're going to vote for the next president, and you ask 200 people, it's statistically irrelevant. You're not going to even come within a ballpark. It's might as well just go to some borough of New York and ask them who's going to be president, and actually believe that actually is somewhat predictive of anything. You need, at least in the stock market, there's about 7,000 tradable stocks. If you do the statistics, it comes down to you need about 330 stocks to be plus or minus 2.5%, and I think 300 or 290 to be plus or minus 5%. So when I look at things like the NASDAQ 100, which the top 5 stocks are 50% of the index, it's very tough to be accurate on those just because statistically they're horrible. But I'm going to say that the Dow is going to be the weaker of the bunch. The NASDAQ going to be much stronger than the rest. And again, for every Microsoft in the Dow, you've got a Caterpillar. Well, maybe they start building roads and stuff, and Caterpillar comes back. But you want to know in that index, how many anchors do you have that it's going to take some huge ship to pull up off the bottom. Boeing, good example. You got some giant millstones around the neck of a lot of these indexes. I think that you want to look at indexes that don't have, or sectors that don't have a giant millstone like a Boeing in it or the rest. So I'm not a big fan of one making a lot of predictions about very narrowly focused indexes like the Dow. But could it come back? It certainly could. And just the worst of the stocks could bring it back. The best of the stocks could still do very well. I would say that you want to pick your battles and be in either sectors that are more predictable, i.e. they either have all losers in it and you go short, or that have a preponderance of winners in it. So the NASDAQ stocks, electronics, things that aren't directly affected by things that are very hard to start back up. And big industrial companies like Caterpillar, Boeing. Go ahead.
My question is, is the market going to make a double bottom?
I think there's a 50% chance that you could get that. My thought is that it is not. I think that somewhere around in the next week that we've got the lows are in for the year. And it could be Friday.
Okay.
So maybe we have one more bad day, something like that. But with literally everybody predicting the peak of cases are going to be in 2 weeks, I figure people are going to start, at least the big people on Wall Street are going to start buying now. They can't buy enough in any single day. I mean, for us, we can, be more. We can be in and out of the market even today with all the money we have in 5 minutes.
Right.
So they can't. So they're going to have to. If they're going to put any money in the market at the bottoms, they're going to have to do it now before everything starts running, because they start buying when the market's already running higher. It's going to be problematic. All they're going to do is put the price up on themselves. So at this point, you really kind of have to think as the big fund managers do, not think probably as the individual investors do. Does that answer your question?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thanks for the call, John. You can call me at 877-927-6648. We'll be back in a minute.
If you're in the CD market and looking for a secure investment, the Tiger First Mortgage Program may work for you. The security for these first mortgages are building lots in the Tax Opportunity Zone in St. Petersburg, Florida. The Tax Act of 2018 set up tax-free zones across the country where you can build and hold for 10 years and pay no tax on the profits, which makes these lots valuable. The investment is anywhere from $30,000 to $75,000. The interest paid is 7% yearly, paid on a monthly basis. According to Bankrate.com, the best rate for a 4-year CD in the country as of February 20th is 3.1%. A $50,000 investment at a normal 4-year CD rate of 3.1% would give you income of $1,550 per year, or $6,200 over the 4-year period. That same $50,000 investment in the Tiger First Mortgage Program would give you $3,500 per year, or $14,000 over the 4 years. Which would you prefer, $6,200 or $14,000 of interest on your investment? If you would like more information about the Tiger First Mortgage Program, you can call me at 877-518-9190. That's 877-518-9190.
If you haven't checked out the newsletters page of TFNN.com, what are you waiting for? All of the TFNN newsletters are informative, up-to-date, affordable, and a must-have for every trader looking to gain a competitive informational edge in today's markets. TFNN newsletters cover every aspect of the markets to offer you the very latest in market news. Plus, new subscribers get to test drive our newsletters risk-free for 30 days. From all aspects of the markets, including stocks, bonds, metals, commodities, and tech, there's a newsletter to fit your needs exclusively from TFNN. Stay informed each day you trade and get that competitive edge that will help you stay ahead of the game. Visit our newsletters page by going to TFNN.com and click the newsletters button near the top of the page. TFNN.com, educating investors.
Are China A-shares hot or not? If you trade China A-shares, now may be time to take a closer look. Trade CHAU or CHAD, Directions Daily CSI 300 China A-share Bull and Bear ETFs. China A-shares in either direction. Visit directioninvestments.com today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV for the latest market information.
And we've got March 18th low in Carnival. So we're getting a retest now, or at least into that candle. 70 million shares. You got 87. Again, some of these things are not going to have good endings. And the SS floating petri dish. And I want to thank my emailer from saying that now she's hearing everybody call it the floating petri dish. I don't think I came up with that, but I think maybe I was the first to use it around this time, but I can't remember. I may have heard somebody say that on one of the cruises I took back in the 80s. So it's been around for a long time, but just more apropos. I don't get to watch apropos. Don't think so. I was the first to use it. I'm sticking to my story. Okay, Capri, CPRI, to do another destined for the ash bin if things don't change soon. 9 million shares, CPRI is the symbol on this one. 9.5 million shares back on the 20th. But 3 million shares today, so you're going back into that gap with lighter volume. Yes, I get to use occasional words. I try to keep them short and pithy, though. Pithy. Cintas, CTAS, had a nice run off the bottom. That huge down day on the 23rd had 1.6 million shares, about 600,000. And again, this one, when everybody gets back to work, probably is going to have a nice run. Probably just going to burn everybody's clothes, I imagine, and give them all new, which would be good for Cintas. But doesn't look bad out here. To Delta Airlines, I always had kind of a love-hate relationship because I've got almost 2 million miles on Delta Airlines. When I lived in Cincinnati, they owned every gate. One company came in, tried to run an airline out of one gate, and they bought them. So a virtual monopoly. Cincinnati was, at least for 20 years that I knew of, the most expensive airport to fly out of in America, mostly because Delta Airlines made sure they had a monopoly there. And, of course, they treated me like trash because Procter & Gamble was in that city, and those guys always got the premier treatment. And I got a thumb in the eye, so I never was that upset when Delta got it stuck to at least a little bit. But what can you say? Again, you had a bounce. Things really are not going to change that quickly in the airline business, but they're probably going to change quicker than the cruise line business because you can avoid that easier. But you're back in here. You were up on the 24th with 65 million shares. You're down on about 45 million shares, but yeah, I can't believe that you would probably have gone long this stock without thinking that it was just a trade and you were going to come back to those levels. Okay. Okay. Discover Financial. You're coming back on a light volume on this one, too. The 24th, you had 7.2 million shares, just 3.4 million shares so far today. And again, remember that you need to look at the end of the day volume, but it hasn't been so back-end packed as it has been in the past. D.R. Horton, a taste of the home building market. I don't care what the interest rates are. You're looking for probably a retest of that $25.51 low on D.R. Horton. Interest rates may be low. You may even get a loan, but no one's going to go into the house and look at it until this is over. Darden Restaurants, my guess is as soon as the flag goes green, people are going to be stampeding into restaurants because they're tired of their crappy cooking. My grandmother taught me to cook, so I'm feeling fairly good. Made a breakfast quiche last night. Very tasty. A little bit of sausage, egg, cheese, milk, and cream. Very tasty. But I can make fried chicken with the best of them. Problem is, I know a lot of people that don't even know what the oven, how to turn it on and off. And those people are probably going to flood the first couple of weeks that these things reopen. But again, timing is everything. The 24th, you got 8.7 million shares. And in this candle we have today, you've got about, 4.7. But again, all about timing. The longer this goes on, the more likely it tests the lows. I don't think people want to get in front of that right now. Eastman Chemical Company, not as much as you would think. Not a real clear signal. Expedia, another one in the travel industry. I think you can make a fairly good case that even if we reopen, the first thing people are not going to do is get on a plane and go to Brazil. So you probably want to look at these at testing previous lows. You're not that far away. You got 3 million shares. You had about 7.3 million shares on the 20th, 7 million shares, 7.4 on the 18th. But, maybe another $5 down, you might find some lows. I just don't know if they're going to bounce that quickly. Ford Motor Company, I remember it was always found on road dead by the Chevy guys. They had all those bumper stickers in the 70s. Or Fix It Again Antonio for Fiat. Man, were those pieces of crap when I was growing up. They rusted out when they hit the showroom floors. But not a bad-looking chart here, actually, for volume today. Up on 146 million shares on the 24th. Is that right? 146. Got 95, so maybe it comes in before the end of the day. 135 million shares back on the 23rd. So maybe get lucky out there. But again, real estate, car sales, that's a pretty big ship to turn around. You want ships that, one, don't have to be turned around quickly, and two, that don't have a lot of mass that has to be changed the direction of. A little physics talk in there. You can give me a call at 877-927-6648. Can you look at Go? Okay. We're going to break. We'll get to this when we come back. Grocery Outlet Holding Company. Well, I guess you got to eat. I don't know what else is going on in that. We'll be back in a minute.
I'm certain you are or strive to be one of the best at everything you do in life. It's the most common trait that we tigers and tigresses share. If you're looking to become the best of the best when it comes to managing your money, let me teach you to do what most wealth managers tell you can't be done, which is how to time the markets. I'm Steve Rhodes, author of Mastering Probability, and for the last 12 months, Timer Digest has been tracking my newsletter signals, which have earned me the ranking as their #1 market timer in the nation for the S&P 500 for the last 12, 6, and 3 months. Timer Digest also ranks me as the #1 market timer for gold as well. The fact is, markets can be timed, and I'll teach you the exact set of tools that I use that has transformed me into one of the best at what I do. Sign up for Mastering Probability today by clicking on the newsletter tab on the homepage of TFNN.com and get immediate access to workshops where I take you step by step how to use an extraordinary set of tools as well as provide great market calls too. Sign up today.
David White's newsletter, The Technology Insider, is focused like a laser on finding the next big things in technology. If you had invested only $10,000 in Microsoft in 1986, you'd have been a millionaire by 2000. Disruptive technology like Microsoft's is the key to these massive long-term profits, and the Tech Insider is the vehicle from TFNN to capitalize on these opportunities. This is the go-to newsletter that identifies, monitors, and profits on mostly little-known cutting-edge companies with great long-term prospects. David's experience is as an inventor of Emmy-winning animation products for TV and Hollywood that propelled a company public. Match that with 14 years as a full-time trader, and he's uniquely qualified to guide you through the light-speed world of ever-evolving high-tech. If you're ready to ride the next big technology bull market for less than $40 per month, log on to TFNN.com and get your 2-week free trial to the Technology Insider. Get in on the ground floor of the next big thing today. With markets trading with extreme volatility and peaks and troughs everywhere, regardless of what you're looking at in the markets, this is a great time to see the type of analysis Basil Chapman delivers for his subscribers every market day with the Opening Call newsletter. Basil has been analyzing markets, providing his take for subscribers to his trading services since 1984. Every morning, Basil publishes an update for his subscribers, along with weekend and evening updates when warranted. The Opening Call provides traders a daily market overview with regard to the direction of the key indices, selective stocks, and commodities, along with specific recommendations including stops and targets. You also gain instant access to Basil's subscriber webinar archive from earlier this year, a dark cloud cover, and essential market analysis. Ride the Chapman wave today by signing up for the Opening Call newsletter on the front page of TFNN.com under the newsletter tab. New subscribers get a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to risk. Sign up today.
Catch Tom O'Brien, professional trader and educator, founder of TFNN. Also, a special guest on CNBC. Tom will bisect and dissect the markets. The Tom O'Brien Show, next on TFNN.
And we have a good question in the den. We'll go to the SMHs. Grocery Outlet Holding Company. I don't see anything special in this other than everybody's going to eat. Good question in the den. Okay, got 2 questions here. I may have to answer the second question tomorrow, but we'll see. I'm surprised to hear how little about supply chain disruption in semiconductors and computers. How are those less affected? First of all, generally, they never build any one part in any one plant in one company. Generally, if you're designing a product, you make sure that the chip is available in multiple sources. Second of all, most of the high-end chips come from Taiwan, from a couple of the foundries there. Both of those folks are highly worried about China invading them, so they didn't let a lot of people from China come there. As soon as they saw the first hint of the virus, they locked their doors down. So Taiwan may be the least affected country over the long term because they were worried about the Chi-Coms invading them, and well deserved. And that's why probably it's been the second issue. China has so many people that if someone gets sick, they can put another person on the line, train them to assemble a iPhone. It's an assembly line. They have to do one thing. They can train them in an hour. That person gets sick, they can train somebody else in an hour. There just isn't, for the most part, they close down the lines for 2 weeks. They reopen them. At this point, they don't really have that problem. It's fairly straightforward. But that's why. Not much in the SMHs is going to get disrupted. We'll answer more questions tomorrow on another excellent edition of the Power Trading Hour. So when you can, not when you have to. We'll see you here in 23 hours.